Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Blanket Fort Studio. Well, welcome back to the Blanket Fort Studio. I know it's been a while, and I really do apologize. I've been very, very busy. I don't know if you guys know this, but I work in IT and I work as a voiceover artist part-time, and so you can imagine that my schedule is pretty full, especially when you're doing both all day long. So the reason that I've come back to you guys is partially because I want to get this channel up and running again. I feel like I've abandoned you guys for like a year, and I apologize for that. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I beg your forgiveness. The reason I'm back today is because I wanted to do a mic check between two very important microphones. And the reason I think that these microphones are important is because they are both industry standard microphones. All right? They both have a price point of just north of $1,000. Yeah, I know, that's not exactly budget, Chris, so what's going on here? Well, I gotta admit, all right, I've been very busy, and the reason I'm very busy is because I've been using Pro Gear for a while, and as you can tell, I'm in my booth, and my booth has gotten bigger, by the way. And maybe next time I'll give you guys a new tour of my sound booth for the next video, and you guys can see what I've done in here, but it's big. It's a lot bigger than it was. Getting off of the booth, let's talk about these microphones. On my right, your left, is the MKH 416 Sennheiser shotgun microphone. A fantastic industry standard voiceover microphone, practically legendary, they tell me. And I've been using the MKH 416 since January of 2020. And it's an amazing microphone. It has been an incredible boon to me, and it's made me a lot of money. I'm going to tell you that right now. We've made a lot of money, this microphone and I, and so you can imagine that I'm very fond of it. Very, very fond of it. When I first saw this microphone and when I first heard about this microphone, I coveted it. I wanted it so bad, and I went out and I spent the money, and it came, and it's been a great microphone. It's been a tremendous piece of equipment in my voiceover arsenal, and I'm glad that I have it. Over here on my left, your right, is the legendary Neumann TLM 103. Yes, this is also an industry standard microphone. The Neumann TLM 103 is known as a great voiceover microphone. It is. It is a standard large diaphragm condenser mic, whereas the MKH 416 is a very directional shotgun microphone. Now, I purchased this microphone because Neumann, first of all, okay, the name by itself, evokes, big studios and expensive places and places that I can't afford to record in, but would love to go and record in once places are calling you up to the city to do so. But so I wanted to get this Neumann mic and find out is this microphone worth the hype? The U87 is also a legendary microphone in a lot of studios. It's a much bigger price point. It's about it's almost close to $4,000 for a Neumann TLM U87 AI. Believe me, I've looked. I've thought about it. It's a lot of money to put on a credit card. Anyway, moving along. I wanted to find out if this microphone was more to my liking, I guess, because really having a microphone that you use in your everyday professional work as a voiceover artist is as much a personal choice as anything. The microphone has to make your voice sound the way you want it to, so that when you hand your audio over to potential clients, or when you hand your audio over to clients that you've already gotten, they're getting consistent sound and they're getting the best sound possible. And best sound possible, by the way, is a very subjective term, all right? But there are mics that are objectively better there are some mics that are objectively better than other mics. For instance, okay, just as a for instance, a Neumann, a Sennheiser MKH 416 shotgun microphone is absolutely objectively a better microphone than a Rode NT1. It's objectively better. Sound quality is better. Manufacturing is better. I'm not saying that the Rode NT1 is a bad microphone. It's not. I own one, and it was a great microphone for me to get started with. But there are better microphones out there. It's absolutely true. These two microphones, however, sit at about the same level of prestige. So I wanted to give this one a chance to prove its worth to me. But in my opinion, and you guys can differ, your opinions can differ. You guys can tell me, oh, but Chris, that TLM 103 sounds great with your voice and blah, blah, blah. Well, great. That's your opinion. And it should always be your opinion. What mic you like better. For my money, this mic is the mic that I will take. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what the difference is. I'm not saying that this is a piece of crap. Do not take it as that. This is a great microphone. If you are a large diaphragm condenser mic aficionado, this is a fantastic microphone. However, if you like your microphones to be a little more directional, which is what I like, you really can't do much better than this. It's a great sounding microphone, and I'm going to tell you right now that the sound quality between a $250 microphone and a $1,000 microphone is great. It's a lot. There's a big difference between those two mics. But when you get into, between $1,000 and $3,000, you're not going to find a whole lot of difference. Is it a $2,000 difference? Maybe, if you're really a mic aficionado. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let me tell you why, really quick, in as quick terms as I possibly can, why I think this mic, for me, is a better mic than this one. One of the biggest problems, and I'll show you this on the screen, and I'll show you really quick how I've got these set, okay? I've got a very basic setup going here, okay? I've got both of these mics are plugged into my Universal Audio Apollo Twin X Duo audio interface plugged directly into my MacBook. I don't have anything in between. There's no processing going on at all. They're both turned up to the same level of the same volume level. They're both set at 44 dB on the mixer in my Universal Audio setup. So let's go take a look and see what's going on. And I'll equalize these levels on these microphones when I actually put the video out. But if you look at what's going on, the top microphone on the screen here is the TLM 107. And if you look below that, you'll notice that the MKH 416 is just below it. Now, these are both at the same volume, and yes, the TLM 103 is much louder. It's absolutely true. I got the mic. Both mics are like right here. You cannot get. They're both at the same distance. The parallax from the camera makes no difference. I'm standing right in the middle of these two microphones, and they're both pointed directly at my mouth. Look at the wave pattern of the TLM 103, even if I turn this down a couple of notches so that the peaks are all basically lined up with what's going on the MKH 416, you'll notice additional wave patterns, and I'll blow these up so that you can see them on the video. I'll take a snapshot of one of the wave patterns. You can see in the spots where I'm doing nothing, where I'm absolutely quiet, it's still picking up noise. It's picking up everything in this room, everything in front, everything in back. Now, there is a bit of a difference. Now, I can go around the back and I can show you on this TLM 103 that it's not picking up as much noise as you would think, but it's still picking up plenty of noise. And that's what I don't like about it. And the reason is because I'm in the middle of a neighborhood where I do my voiceovers. I'm on the edge of the house, but this booth is, it's industry standard. This is a negative 60 dB floor in this booth. But this microphone tends to pick up a lot, and I'll show you what I mean. If I move around to the back and I keep talking, you can still hear me just fine. And that's the thing about this microphone. It picks up a lot. It picks up a lot more than I like. This microphone, the minute you're off of it, it barely picks up anything. I mean, you can still hear it because I'm talking, but this microphone is very sensitive. And while that's great in a quiet studio setting where you're in a building that was professionally designed and everything is canceled out, it's not so good for a guy standing in a whisper room. Now, whisper rooms are very quiet. Don't get me wrong. They are extremely quiet. But this room still picks up noise. No matter how much foam insulation I've got on the walls. No matter how many how many levels of sound blankets, I've got 2 layers of sound blankets on the back of these walls, plus foam behind it. And it still picks up outside noise. Man, when my neighbor turns on his lawnmower, oh yeah, I can still hear him. Absolutely. And sometimes I even have to stop recording. But the point is that this is a great mic. Don't get me wrong, I am not poo-pooing the Neumann TLM 103 at all. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm pointing out that if you're doing home recording and you don't have a room that's got 6-inch thick walls that are completely insulated and you can't hear a bloody thing, if you're using a portable booth like I am, or if you're using a closet, or if you're using because a lot of us are doing this on the budget, right? Now, Whisper Room ain't exactly budget material, but if you've got a closet that you're using for voiceover, and you're making money out of that closet, good for you, first of all. Second of all, that's still not going to be as quiet as a professionally built booth that you've got in your basement somewhere. It's like a bunker and there's no noise down there. Then a mic like this is perfect. For a booth like what I've got for this Whisper Room, this directional mic is absolutely the best choice. The reason is because at any given time, somebody with the world's loudest pickup truck engine could drive down my street and its tires thumping against the concrete, and this mic will pick it up. This mic will not. This mic will stay focused on my voice because this mic is pointing at my face. This mic. That's why. So while a TLM 103 is a great mic, it's an amazing mic, and I've seen guys up and down YouTube using these, and it's a great mic. Don't get me wrong. It's not the mic for my setup the way it is. Now, I may eventually one day decide to move my booth down into the basement, but right now ain't the day. So this has been me, Chris Baitons, for the Blanket Fort Studio. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. This is a great mic. It's just not great if you're not set up in a soundproof bunker, which I am not. I'm in a whisper room, and noise gets through these walls, just a little bit. Better to have a very directional microphone in a setup like that than one that, has the cardioid pattern and can still pick up noise from behind. This has been the Blanket Fort Studio. I was Chris Baitons. I will be back. I promise. It may be a little bit, but I will be back. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you soon. Take care.